I'm gonna go ahead and get the chat up on my phone.
It's a good idea.
But we're live. We're all good.
Seems to be.
All right. So because of the way we're doing things, you may hear a bit of double from me because we're literally in the same room, across from each other. You're gonna also see a lot of like interlacing with mine. Like the video is just gonna look really weird because of the capture card we're using.
Hello, internet.
The left side is this is. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with introductions. This is the Borderlands 2 two-player co-op, 80% speedrun. You all probably know about Borderlands. It's very fun. It's looter shooter, very RNG heavy, and luckily there's only one part of the run where the RNG can really destroy us. For this run, we use Accident Gage because of the combination of glitches they have. Gage just is the highest damage character, like, in the game, and so we have her as the host character. And Axton has a wonderful bug that we'll explain later that that only he can do. So we'll be answering questions as we go along, if there are any. But for now, I guess we're just sort of gonna go.
If things go well, our timer should start automatically. We start from when we gain control of our character. We're going to be timing real time, but...
Great! Another deadbolt hunter. Handsome Jack's been busy.
So this is Claptrap. He's a box that opens doors.
Wait a minute! You're not dead! Yes! Now I can get off this glacier.
The only downside of Claptraps, they're really annoying.
Has finally come in.
So his product line was shut down.
CL4P TP Stewart bot.
And so the whole story of Borderlands 2 is basically that, like, there's this guy named Handsome Jack. He found this thing called a vault, which is just an alien, like, cache of weapons or whatever. And he doesn't want people like us, vault hunters, to come and get it before him. So he tries to kill them. And over there's the train we were on, and he blew it up.
Let's get you inside.
But luckily Claptrap found us.
Man, this is
so right off the bat, you're gonna see me do something wonderful where I'm gonna explode guns out of my face. Don't worry about that. I'll explain that more later. Right now, Tokeegee's gonna go ahead and say what he's doing.
So I'm hitting some points where Claptrap is going to...
Oh, timer didn't start.
Explain everything.
Timer didn't start.
Know this.
Well,
You're
add a
alive
few
for a
seconds
reason.
on it.
This will be an approximate.
I'm here to help you.
So what I just did there was I hit a few spots where Claptrap would have normally just stopped and tried to explain things to us. But
well done! Your ability to walk short distances without dying will be Handsome Jack's downfall.
Saves a few seconds. Very nice. This game is very checkpoint based. Claptrap is very easy to beginning of the
And open!
I dropped the sniper rifle.
Just a little added security. Gotta keep those bullymongs at bay, or they'll rip your eyes out.
So here what we're going to be doing is sort of something I did earlier. It's called a dual dupe. So this game, it has a little feature. If you and your friends are disagreeing on loot or whatever, you can have a duel for them, or you can just trade items.
I want to think hard
However,
about
if you
this.
trade items and then you either drop or use the item in your inventory and then lose the duel, it'll just create another version of the item in the winner's inventory. Also, is my perspective being low frame rate, or is it just sort of being juddery? Because it's supposed to be going 60 frames.
Four Bolt Hunters changed Pandora forever. Their time has
Alright, well, we'll fix that after this, because I'm going to hit...
Pandora
We were just talking about save points and everything. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to hit a save point through this wall. Yeah, it's usually supposed to be a higher frame rate. Let him fix that real quick. Set to 60?
Here we go. That should fix it. Should be better now, hopefully.
Alright, so to explain what I just did there, there's a save point on the other side of that wall that usually Claptrap has to open the door for you. But essentially the game decides that if you've hit that checkpoint already and you've started the mission, My First Gun, that you can just sort of go ahead with the rest of the thing and not have Claptrap in the door. So he's gonna hit continue here. And we're gonna be on the other side of the wall. So right here, Tokeegee's just gonna be doing all this stuff for me because I have to continue to do that duplication thing. So to go in more on that, this run makes use of something called a free scroll or a hyper scroll mouse, which is where you hit a button and your scroll wheel doesn't stop scrolling.
He will help you get off
So
this glacier and into the city of
for this,
Sanctuary.
I bind
That is
swap
the only
weapon
place
to mouse
you
wheel
will be
down,
safe.
and then I bind drop weapon to mouse wheel up. So you're gonna see my sniper rifles just start flashing here just because I'm swapping them so fast. And I scroll up, and a lot come out. And the reason why I'm doing this so many times is not just to make more guns to get like more money or anything. It's because every time I do this with a sniper rifle, I get more critical hit damage. And I can just keep getting that because the like net coding on this game is terrible. Like it's bad. Just playing the game as the not host character is very, very
You'll
grueling.
need that funny little robot's help to reach Sanctuary, the last bastion of the resistance
So
against Jack,
the reason why I'm
and the
doing all this
only
right
place
now,
you'll
for the
be
most
truly
part,
safe.
isn't really to kill
Get to
basic
Sanctuary.
enemies. It's to kill a boss enemy that's right up here. It would usually take like a minute or two to kill, depending on your skill level. But
Fun!
he's just gonna die in one hit for me.
Many thanks, friend of friend.
Now, if you're noticing, the two guns that we have look different, despite us having pre-made save files. The guns in this game are made up of parts. There's different manufacturers, and different manufacturers make different parts. The parts on Tokeegee's gun are the best for shooting, and the parts on my gun are the best for duplicating, because the more you duplicate, the more your accuracy also changes. So, the one that I have is the best for making my accuracy not go poop.
It's very close.
So this is Knucklejack you saw him earlier. He ripped out Claptrap's eye. And I'm gonna give him back to that.
Badass!
I missed. There we go. So yeah, that was a boss. As hard as believe as that is, that was a boss. So here we're going to be doing another duplicating glitch. It's going to be doing another dual dupe, and we're going to be using it to skip Claptrap's line. I didn't really describe this last time, but there are things of dialogue in this game that I missed. I'm just gonna mail him to death. So you can cut off dialogue of NPCs with dialogue from other things. All the base game characters start with a little echo that just it just gives you a little bit about their lore, but you can use it to just cut off audio. So it's not really worth it to keep doing that over and over again. So eventually we do that with side quests.
Isn't such a bad way to go.
Let me get that for you. Executing phase shift.
Oh yeah, I can basically one hit anything as I keep
You're welcome.
script stacking.
Perks of being an artificial intelligence. I'm
going to be wanting to look for another sniper though, because the one I have, despite it having the perfect parts to not give me bad accuracy, it's still going to give me not the best accuracy.
Let me know when you're ready to go meet with Sir Hammerlock, minion.
I'm going to go and plug in my phone so I can keep reading chat.
Alright. And that's
So that was Knuckle Dragger. So here we have to wait for Claptrap to finish talking. Otherwise he doesn't move. He will stand up there until the guy who's about to talk finishes talking. Because he's Claptrap. Oh, did you give me the SMG? Okay, so I just need a high fire rate gun here because due to things being off-hosed, these bullywongs that come out of here, they don't have correct hitboxes. So we do another save quit there because if we didn't save quit, then there'd be all this dialogue, and it'd just drone on. We'd waste like 20 to 30 seconds of people just talking.
We
So
also have to fight
save.
an extra wave of enemies.
Well, the extra wave doesn't really spawn unless you kill everybody. But either way, so we save quit, skips audio, and make sure that like the second we start fighting these dudes, these are the real dudes that we have to fight. Up there you saw another thing of it being Hoffos. My bullet just went through that guy.
Well, notice something I do is I'll drop it and pick it up. That's because anytime you pick up a gun, it always has a full magazine.
Oh no!
So drop it, pick it back up, and here we're gonna skip some more dialogue. The save quits end really soon. It's just...
Yeah, we're just gonna do like... We're gonna do one more after this one, and then there's gonna be an extended period of game time, and then we're gonna save quit 2 more times, and then they're gonna be done for like 30 minutes, and then depending on RNG, there'll only be like 1 or 2 more. So here, I'm gonna be using the last of that little recording thing before to shut up this nice guy Hammerlock. He's the guy who he's a fancy gentleman, and he's gonna be the one to fix Claptrap's eye because he somehow got it ripped out by a guy who died in 1 shot. Like I don't understand, man.
I shall be out directly.
I've never seen the Dark Souls run, so I don't know if it has more or
A
less.
pleasure to meet you, Vault Hunter.
Have you
I
seen
am
the
Sir
Dark Souls
Hammerlock.
Dark Souls ain't the game I've seen or ever gotten into.
At your
The only thing I know about the
service.
Dark Souls run is the monocular jumping.
For my almanac.
I mean, and you can probably count on 2 hands how many times we say quit throughout the
ships out to
Borderlands run.
Themis tomorrow, and I don't want you with us. Not as a soldier, and not as a husband.
What? What the hell?
Now, if you could hand me the robot's eye, please.
So he's gonna give him the thing, and this skips both dialogue and a really slow walking animation by those two for just literally walking across the town. So Tokeegee's gonna go ahead and he's gonna start doing stuff to get us a gun that we're gonna need for a good tiny part of the run. And I'm just gonna start getting myself some more crit damage because I am on my way to go fight another boss.
So this is going to be doing the main story, and I'm just going to be sitting back and doing some side missions because we have to get through 1 side mission from this great guy Hammerlock before he'll give us another side mission, which gives us an amazing gun. It's basically
For just
like this
shooting.
Yeah, for just killing some wildlife.
It's just good enough that it's worth it to like go out of your way for it.
Here's what's gonna happen, Vault Hunter. My first mate
So here he gets those 2 for me. Again, Claptrap's he's very finicky. He likes to be with you. He gets lonely. And if you don't attend to him every second of the day, he's not going to move. So he just gets Claptrap for me at first, and I'm gonna wait down here for Claptrap.
I'll ask you for Dad.
Now you may be noticing that I'm filling up my like equip hotbar with the guns I have to shoot before I pick up guns. That isn't like a preference thing. If I don't do that, the guns that I go to pick up just won't be real, and I'll also lose the like critical hit bonus.
You'll need a better shield.
I humbly suggest paying a visit to the old Crimson Raider safe house.
I'm on my way
You'll need to
do
take the
another,
elevator
and
up
this is
there.
the side mission that'll get us an amazing gun.
So essentially, to just explain the story of what's going on right here.
What have you done?
So
These are
we
human
need to get to this
beings.
town called
With eyes,
Sanctuary because
feelings. Totally kidding.
it's where the people are going to help us take down Handsome Jack are, the guy who tried to kill us and is trying to take over Pandora by finding the vault. So we first have to go through this guy Flint, the guy who runs this whole glacier's first mate, Boom Boom.
And yet it's missing something.
So-
je ne sais quoi. I think some bullymong fur might do the trick.
First we have to go through Boom Boom to like actually go to Flint and then kill Flint, and then we can finally go to Sanctuary. So that's about the story of what's going on here.
Then finish him off with fisticuffs.
So right here, this side mission, I have to kill these bullymong. You can weaken them with a gun first.
Turning riposte. In addition to making for a spectacular hat decoration, I shall study the fur for my
Yeah, everything in this game, as I said before, this game is 100% RNG based. What enemies spawn, what the enemies spawn with, what drops from the enemies. Very few enemies in this game are scripted.
I'll go get her. What stallion? Here, girl. What stallion? Say hello.
So you'd assume Boom Boom is one dude, because you've only fought one boss and he was one dude. But Boom Boom is two bosses.
Light the fuses,
He's Boom,
bitches!
dude, and his little brother, Boom. They like
Ready
explosions.
to blow!
Unfortunately, as bosses go in this game, they're like really weak. Like they die in one hit. Like sheesh. So here we're going to be using a tutorial dialogue to skip dialogue from Claptrap himself. Tutorial dialogue apparently has like the highest priority in this entire game. So if you're learning something, the game will shut up everything else. You can go ahead. The game will shut up everything else just so you can hear that tutorial. And we're going to be using that exact same tutorial later on because that one, for some reason, only registers on one person.
Yeah, about 8 minutes we'll be reusing that dialogue.
So this is the gun that we needed. I got a horrible version of it.
Far more badass than he deserves.
Okay. But either way, this will serve our purposes. So you're seeing that we're doing something with these grenades. We're throwing them at our feet. This is actually the Quake run. Grenade jumping exists in this run, and right now, you'll see Tokeegee just sort of summon something. Every character in this game has an action skill. Tokeegee, who's playing Gage, summons this torso of death named Death Trap. He's a robot, and he just sort of attacks people for you. And Axton has a turret. Funnily enough, the pet characters are the fastest characters in this game.
This guy!
Depending on things.
Except the character I'm playing is Borderlands.
So, you're about to see the biggest reason why Axton is the second character in this run. So, first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say, we'll go ahead and explain why Gage is good in this run. Drop my review. Gage is good because you've probably seen Tokeegee spec at least once into his skill called Close Enough. If he wants to explain that.
Here, so Close Enough, Gage is designed for beginners. So they gave her basically an aimbot. If you miss your shots, they'll ricochet off of walls and go straight towards enemies. So that's really easy to abuse in the speedrun because eventually we'll be able to get shots and when I miss my shots, I can just hit them on the walls and have them bounce into people's heads and stuff, and it gets a little ridiculous with Gage. And I also end up having a lot more base damage with a few other glitches that have to do with Gage's skill. The moral of the story is don't create a character for beginners because you'll always want to play it and it ends up being hard.
So moving on to why we use Axton. As you can see, I'm running very, very fast. Axton has a skill called Expertise, and Expertise is a skill that increases weapon swap speed and gives you increased movement speed when you are aimed down the sights of your gun. When you're aimed down sights, and when you're off host, the game doesn't really ever realize that you've unscoped. Go ahead, go and die. Here we're having him do a death warp just because he's not as fast as me. And so the game, when you drop the gun while aiming down sights, doesn't ever register that you're not aimed down sights anymore. But then you aim down sights again, and then you do it again. And it's just like, well, I guess I just gotta keep this buff on him. He's never unscoped. And it just puts onto his normal movement speed. So here, Tokeegee's just sort of getting some XP, killing some people, and I'm moving on with the main story. Now,
but you know, with this amazing gun we started with, or we just got everything.
Yeah, so from this point on, the run is going to be mostly me doing things, but that doesn't mean that Tokeegee doesn't do anything. You can die. If you have like a 70 or above damage sniper, I'd like if you swap with me. But yeah, so I'm really fast. I do lots of damage, and that's Oppos for you. So here we're gonna kill Flint because we need to kill him to move on. We just sort of have to wait for Claptrap. So I'm just gonna get as much critical hit damage as I can because Flint is a much more impressive boss than the other two bosses.
This is actually one of the harder bosses for most speedrunners when they get into Borderlands 2.
Whether it's co-op or solo.
He's a lot harder than solo.
Here we're just most of the beginning of this game is just waiting on Claptrap. That's the beginning of the game in a nutshell. Just wait for Claptrap. So here's Flint. He likes fire. Last guy likes explosion. This guy likes fire.
Let's turn up the heat! I spy a badass!
And I'm gonna shoot in the back of the head.
Send your bombs to fight for
So here we're gonna go for a thing called Flint Minute.
You're the most fearsome warrior this glacier has ever seen, pal.
We didn't get it because we forgot to wait for the doors to open. But usually what happened there is Claptrap would, so Flint would jump down, the like little like garage doors would open, and then we get a certain enemy to run out and stand in the spot that Claptrap is so standing. And that would make the game think, oh, well, Claptrap's here. I guess he can move on. And then make him start walking over here like he's now. So he's just gonna get more XP, and I'm gonna stack more speed. Because faster is better.
Yeah, pretty good.
So he's waiting Claptrap here. Once he gets down here, oh, you okay?
Rock and roll!
Fantastic.
Critical kill!
Once we finally turn in this mission, we will have no more reliance on Claptrap.
The completionist in me is like, yeah!
If anybody has any questions or anything, just go ahead, feel free to ask. A lot of things are weird with this run.
The beginning of this game has a lot of things going on too.
We're near sanctuary, buddy.
So here, he's just sort of gonna do another death warp. Get up here. And I'm gonna spam E on this thing, because spamming E on this thing breaks dialogue. I apologize for the clicking noise.
Unauthorized user up in my grill.
And I can go.
Welcome back. Just executing phase
Usually you'd have to sit through like a whole lot of dialogue of them like fighting and everything, and Angel telling you to run into that camp there, but
Lockdown.
you don't.
Wait a moment while I hack the catch-a-ride.
So upcoming is going to be a mess of dialogue.
Is audio only playing through the
Cool.
left
Try
ear?
requesting another cop. Real charmer, that one. You should now be able
Oh,
to
it's probably just like an explosion or something going on.
Now head to Sanctuary and find Roman.
Like right in
You're
their
going
left
to
ear.
be advantage to stare down handsome Jack the Third.
You're never getting
Oh, yeah, it was just one noise that was like right in their left ear. Okay.
You're a vault hunter. Just a sec. Roland wanted to talk to you. Sometimes.
So here we're just sort of breaking dialogue, going through this area fast.
You're the one I've been here.
You're gonna hear everybody talking over them. But essentially, we finally made it to Sanctuary, but Roland isn't gonna let us in quite yet. We have to go help his buddy Reese. We have to figure out what happened to him. Turns out, Reese got fucking jumped. Reese is getting the shit kicked out of him. So you notice I didn't like fully unload on these guys here. That's because
Back to Sanctuary.
if I kill them too fast, then restock blocks. He just sort of keeps kicking around.
Reese is dead? He was one of the first Crimson Lancemen I recruited to the Raiders.
You're the pre-made.
Get that power core back, and while you're at it, kill some bandits for Reese. It's what he
Oh yeah, it's literally just called Dull Sonic.
Looks like you've got an area waypoint. Sometimes your echo device can't find the precise location of what you're looking for. Search the area marked by the big
so
ass green circle on your minimap.
If you're asking like why I'm so fast, Axton has a skill in this game called Expertise, and just increases your movement speed when aimed down sights. And because I'm off post, if I drop my gun while aimed down sights, it'll keep the movement speed up on me.
The one who faced Jack and lived. Look, we need your help bad. But first things first, plug that power core into the shield generator. Good. That ought to last us a day or two. Roland is supposed to bring us some.
So here I'm gonna give Tokeegee my sniper rifle because he has a much better use for it than I do. So you've been seeing me dupe all these guns and like get all this crit damage. Tokeegee can do that to a small extent if he wants to explain that.
So I will show you, but we're about to start. Basically, there's a thing called weapon merging, and only the host can do it. And it involves me switching to another weapon, and then
Roland needs your help.
replacing that weapon
Without
slot with
you,
another
the Crimson
weapon, and that
Raiders
makes the
don't
game
stand a
think I'm
chance
holding
against
two
Jack.
weapons at once.
Please
It's
find
kind of
out where
like
Roland's
Utsu
gone.
glitch, except I don't get to have as much crit damage.
Could I have refund, please?
Yeah, I've got like
seem to work.
over 70 sniper rifles in me.
I
He has
don't
3. But either way, more crit damage is better than
Looks
nothing.
like it works to me.
So here what you just saw us do is we overlap 2 cutscenes with one another, so we only had to watch 1. Because we have to go to both these guys either way.
Now you go.
Vault Hunter.
Scooter.
If you're gonna be a
Scooter
part of
is the best
Crimson
character, but we
Raiders,
cut him off at
better know
every
how to
opportunity.
use your
Everybody's just
electrical
talking over Scooter today.
Well, let's head to center.
Except for this point.
Those 2 fuel cells into the ignition primers.
So here I'm just sort of doing this quest because I have nothing better to do right now.
you can buy
I might as well get a little bit more XP.
Market. Careful
And
though,
plus,
real
either way,
crazy.
the
Yeah, one of my
quest I had to
cars
pick
was.
up to do the dialogue skip would have put a permanent gun in our inventory and just sort of been in the way.
Bandits of Sanctuary. I hear a new Vault Hunter. Roland said we got. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
here we're just doing
Nobody's gonna
everything we
turn
can
you in.
to skip audio
What you
and
want? Just buy something and I'll toss in
make
this
people
crap
talk over each other.
Just touching it made
Yeah,
two
the
miles.
dialogue.
So there, Scooter tried to talk, so I walked up to Hammerlock, and Hammerlock said he was like reading to you, telling you that how he got here. And then he tells you how bully monks have stupid names.
I'd like a better one before my
Here I'm gonna pick up this quest for the very end of the run.
Bone piles, will you? I learned something
So
about
small
that
thing
diet
there
and
for
come up
what
with
I
a
just
catchier
did.
name.
See, I was
Soldier.
using my weapon choice
hear
that
this?
lowers my frame rate
Trouble.
because
This is
this
the
is
bar.
frame rate base.
Put the frost
The
on
higher
it.
your frame rate, the more cooling there is. So that step up into that area will not work if you have a really high frame rate. So you have to jump and it ends up getting you stuck even more this time. It's not a fun time. So you lower your frame rate.
Haven't found anything good. My weapon
So what we're doing here,
that for you.
we before we went into Sanctuary, we learned that something happened to Roland. So we had to come in here to try to do what Roland told Scooter to do if Roland ever went missing, which was try to make the Theta fly. But that didn't work. So we have to do the next best thing and listen to the recording that Roland left us to see what we actually have to do. And so we listened to his recording. He told us to go check his personal vault up in the top of the place. And what is it? Then we learned that this bandit called the Firehawk took him. So we're going to go fight the Firehawk real quick to get Roland back, because Roland is the only one that can help us defeat Jack. Because though we're stronger than him, he is smarter than us.
Roland, huh? You know, I heard
He
the
has
Firehawk
way more
amplifies
experience,
bandits
way
and
better at
drills them
making
like
plans than us,
studies.
because
And
our
I'm
plan
saying
is
that about Roland's
run in
chance
and
to
hit someone
fly.
with a disembodied
Let me
leg.
explain something. Even if you do rescue Roland from this, oh God in heaven!
You can die?
Oh, you changed my own
So here's
So
the
he-
glitch. If I die while I'm in this small like
Little Doctor Who cutscene.
after this Lilith cutscene, I'll be able to move during the respawning animation. So you won't be able to see me in first person. You'll just see my character run away from where I'm spawning, like right
How
here.
you doing? The bandits call me the Firehawk, but the name's Lilith. I'm with the Raiders, like you.
And I got a little
I keep
far
the bandits in line so Roland can focus on taking down Jack. Anyway, long story, lots of internal bleeding.
So,
Could you help me up?
you might saw me go and, pick up this blue gun here,
Look at that.
even though it seemed like I just sort of went out of my way for nothing. This is just a very good gun. It's good enough
Medium, will ya?
to where it
I should have
warrants
some in one of my strong
us taking it
boxes.
just out of the way entirely.
Yeah,
It's very good
that's
for casual play.
Give
too.
it
It's
here.
just a good gun. Very fun
Appreciate
gun to
it.
use.
And it's also worth a lot of money.
It's good for selling too. All around just fantastic.
Thanks.
So here, Tokeegee's gonna do this part of the story, and I'm just sort of gonna run around, get experience, and try to find loot.
Cocky too.
Because we need to be specific, we need to be level 10 by the time we get into a specific area, so we can get a specific type
Now
of
the
gun,
real fun
or a
begins.
specific type of
I'll
glitch.
see if I can't phase blast a
'Cause
few
that's
of them
how
for
this
you.
game works.
Yeah, so every time you go back to
Watch out!
and that makes the vending machines.
You need to be level 10 for rocket launchers to start spawning.
We need a very nice specific.
Well done. Watch out.
Very broken. But we'll get more into that when we get there. So, so all that's essentially Tokeegee's doing is a wave fight. So we learned that the Firehawk is actually Lilith, who is a vault hunter from the first game, same as Roland. The developers try to do this cool thing where it's all like, well, look, the characters you played in the first game.
Get some ammo. This
It's
ain't
like,
over
why
yet.
wouldn't they still be on this planet?
Except their AI
Nice
is
shot.
horrible on this one.
Oh, it's terrible. Will here.
If you go down,
They found another way
and you
in!
can't kill an enemy here, Lilith will just kill them for you.
Well done.
Well, you very well thought.
Yeah, she can just subsequently ruin one. I guess in casual play, that's not the worst thing, but obviously, when you're trying to speedrun, that's like, why is that a thing? Why would you design something that can just kill something for me when I'm trying to get up? At least have it like get me up and kill the thing to give me credit.
You'll notice I'm opening my display a lot more
Well
now
done.
to the same faster that way than I am. It's similar to dropping loading, like I explained before, except
Watch out.
by
Badass
dropping
psycho.
loading right now, this one is
It's very specific to set up everything.
Nice shot.
Oh, I'll go ahead and use this time now to explain. So every time that you level up in this game, you gain a damage bonus for 60 seconds. A 100% damage bonus for 60 seconds. And it's very useful for when you're trying to kill a lot of people at once. Or just one, it's good for killing.
Got a token.
So I just finished that wave fight. I'm gonna grab some more Iridium for Lilith.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
gonna
stuff.
get a dialogue skip with a line I've been saving for a while. We're gonna learn about grenade mods again, kids.
Ooh, you've got a grenade mod. Those change the way your grenades behave. If you find the right mod, you can throw grenades that home in on targets or spew flame.
Doing this, you're not supposed to be able to open menus,
Yeah.
never mind.
Oof.
My
That's
dialogue
fine.
skipped in here, so we're gonna have to fix that.
Don't worry, I'm fast. That was a mistake.
Awesome.
Usually what's supposed to happen there is the dialogue is supposed to skip Lilith from talking. But for some reason there, it didn't talk. It didn't stop her from talking. I'm just gonna run back and turn in the mission. So I'll just go ahead and give him a go-ahead for whenever he's supposed to leave, and then I'll show off how you can turn in missions while you travel, despite not being allowed to be in a menu while you travel. Because the way this game works for traveling is on ticks, and if you open a menu between ticks, you can leave. You can travel.
Before the
As long as
bloodshot's
you do it fast
gone,
enough, you can just go ahead and turn the mission really fast.
Alright, back on track.
Alright, killer, I I'm back in Sanctuary. Be careful. The Bloodshots have camped out all around the dam. You'll want to get a vehicle to soak up some bullets for you.
So you notice that Tokeegee didn't like spawn his vehicle immediately. He sort of waited.
Yeah, if
because
you wait until Lilith says vehicle, it won't help you with getting a vehicle. You get out of
Huh.
yeah, we gotta
Nobody
do that
seems to
before.
be around. Just drive up and honk your horn.
Another
It's
one
not
of
so hard after all.
One of those games that you can go too fast in.
Very often.
Bitch on my screen.
Alright, finally made it to the dust, huh? You've been off the echo for hours. Thought you might have got brain or something.
We're about to
Oh,
meet
right
his
here,
sister.
Right, so
An enemy called a Queen Spider Ant.
I should have killed your fat ass when I had the chance!
Sorry, what was that? You gotta speak up!
But they are what's known as XP pinatas in the Borderlands
That was
community
awesome.
because they die really fast and they give a lot of XP.
Oh, howdy! I didn't see you there.
So I'm gonna be doing another quest dialogue skip here. Our good friend Loggins.
My buddies kicked me out of their gyro squad, and now
So
they're
right here, I am
celebrating.
looking for a specific gun in this location called the Gwen's Head. It can spawn in 5 separate locations, and so I've been sort of I've been duping all this critical hit damage, but turns out there's 2 types of critical hit damage in this game. There is Type A and Type B, and Type B modifies Type A, and Type A modifies Type B. Sniper rifles have Type A, and the Gwen's Head has Type B, so it has a lot of Type B. So if I duplicate the Gwen's Head and a sniper rifle about evenly, I will have the highest damage possible. So here I'm gonna just kill this buzzard real quick, because if I don't kill him, the next car has a lower chance of spawning. So, more about the Gwen's Head. It's actually a reference to, like,
Almost got
a movie
bandit
with
card?
Morgan Freeman in it.
Roland can handle whatever the Bloodshots
Like,
dish
it's
out,
called
but
Seven. It's
generally
about,
don't
like,
letting them get tortured any longer
them trying to find a serial killer who's based off the 7 deadly sins.
Right. Just bring him back
And
we'll get you
one of
rolling.
the detectives in that movie has
Let's make some
a wife named Gwen.
It's in the box.
And in the end, a box gets shipped to him
all right, looking good.
from the serial killer after he kills the serial killer. And it's presumed that either his wife's head is in there, or that his wife's baby is in there when she was pregnant. And he was played by, I think, Brad Pitt, and he's just yelling, "Oh, what's in the box?"
Now you can start
over and over again. As Morgan Freeman's like, "Boy, you better shut up right now." And so when you pick it up, Jack sort of screams the line. Here it is, Gwen's Head.
Looks like
I'm gonna make more of them.
ours. Let him in while I try to get Hyperion back on the
And I'm gonna
horn.
get myself 3 of them.
Like
Oops.
your math lesson.
Here I'm gonna
We've been tracked.
skip dialogue with a cutscene. This is the only time we skip dialogue with a cutscene. So yeah, I'm just re-explaining the Type B, Type A thing. Type A multiplies Type B, Type B multiplies Type A. So I'm having 150% or 100% critical hit damage times 38%. And it's gonna do
Watch out.
this. Mind you, I am 3 levels under-leveled from that boss. And I still just destroy them.
He has kind of a bump on it. He likes to lock on you. He never unlock. So you try to get behind him, and he's just there staring at you.
Even if you're as fast as Axton, you were going around him, and he's just like, "Nah, I'm looking at you, buddy. There's nothing you can do about this."
Roland should be around here somewhere.
Like, you can hear the Super Mario 64 King Babam battle music going on. And Tokeegee threw that grenade just to knock him back so his shield wasn't in the way, so I could shoot him in the face. So now we're level 10. So now we're gonna go back to Sanctuary.
And we're gonna hope we get good RNG, and if we do, this is where the run gets really fun. And we hopefully don't save quit anymore.
We'll see though. If we have good RNG, we won't have to save quit at all here. If we have meh RNG, we'll have to save quit a couple times here. We need. There are two manufacturers in this game of note. One is called Vladoff and one is called Jacobs. We need a Jacobs shotgun, specifically one with 2 or more barrels, and a Vladoff rocket launcher.
And that shotgun we're looking for looks like this. This is a bushwhack. It has 3 barrels.
Go and quit.
Okay. It's a very good gun for speedrunning. We get lots of pellets, and my close-enough skill ricochets all of those pellets back at enemies. It's going to be fun.
Something upsetting about save quitting this game after I've gotten all my stacks and everything is it gets rid of them. So I'm not fast anymore, and I don't do a lot of damage anymore. So we're just going to be farming this several times until we get the gear we need. I got a sniper rifle that will make me more accurate.
You can always trust the gun at your side.
Alright, did you even have rocket launchers?
Nope.
Alright, so another bug that can happen to this, if you go... You can bug out the vendors in this game, because they will rotate on a timer. And if you go at a weird time back to Sanctuary, the game will not spawn the correct gear for what level you are, but it will still level up all of the gear in the vendors.
Roland was getting intel on the vault.
So here he came to my game because that will fix the problem. It's just not really good to do that in an actual run because then like we have to go back and retime everything. You got one? Shotgun too? Oh, okay, great.
Hold still.
I don't know why you're stacking right now. We gotta go back to your game.
I know what I'm doing.
It's fine. So we're gonna get into here. I'm gonna save quit, and then we're gonna go back to his game. That's not what I wanted. I clicked on select character.
Alright. So there's no more save quits from now on.
None. We are fine. So he's gonna drop me both of the guns that we got. Ooh. And I'm gonna dupe him. And then I'm gonna give him one of each.
Got the money, I'll save your gall darn life.
To guarantee that they are
Careful out there.
I think, and I'm gonna buy myself some rocket ammo so I can do the bug. So when you shoot a flat-off rocket launcher, the next shot will give you a free shot.
Try not to die.
Because the game will be looking for a flat-off rocket launcher, like, shot to shoot. But the game never finds the flat-off rocket launcher shot that you shot. So it just sort of lets you keep shooting like this.
The volume in this area gets very, very loud, so I'm gonna turn that down really fast.
I'm gonna restack all of my speed so we can go fast again. Because I need to go fast for a skip I'm about to do. So usually when you go through this area, you have to fight through like a barricade area in the very middle, wait for a boss to come out. But we're not gonna do that. I'm just sort of gonna run through. I'm gonna throw my turret here to distract people.
You handling the bloodshots all right? They've been trying to take
And then I'm gonna throw a grenade here.
kick their asses out of Sanctuary.
Up. Oh, that was weird. Come on in whenever you can. I proxy. So there's something in this game called proxying, where if you go into collision that the game doesn't want you to go into, it'll just sort of throw you out. Wow, I'm being really unlucky with these enemies. Are really mean. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now I'm out of bounds. This game is this level is the worst, like for collision. This skip I'm doing has had 5 different versions And there's another version that I'm not doing right now just because it's too risky. Like, you can kill or run if you do it. Essentially, going all through this area, jumping on, like, heaps of random stuff they had outside the map. And so you think, how do you get back in if you're just going through a bunch of, like, things without collision? See, that's solid. This isn't, though. So, I'm just gonna run through here, run up to here, and we're gonna get rolling.
Vault Hunter. Good to finally meet you.
And we're just gonna watch this cutscene with the coolest character in the game. He's the strongest one here. Nothing happens to him. Do not believe the message on the wall. Rolling. And for some reason, this gets really low resolution once you start to look at the thing.
Yeah. We run this game on extremely low settings because Borderlands 2 is optimized terribly on PC.
So there, I'm making more of the sniper because I need the sniper because it will make my accuracy better. It is a specific type of manufacturer called Hyperion. And Handsome Jack is the CEO of Hyperion, so we're using his guns to beat him. So here, there's going to be another death warp by Tokeegee to get to the boss area that we're going through. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell you, our incentive shooting got bad.
That bot's taking
So we're going to do face shooting.
Stop them before they get away.
I'm just sort of gonna run through this area
Roland?
and
I'm hearing more gunfire
just tell Tokeegee when he's good to die.
Still
Wait a
waiting
moment.
for a response from my peer. Look out! Badass loader!
Go ahead. So this is Warden. He's a pretty tough boss. Luckily, we have a high damage multi-shot gun. Have you described your rebind yet?
Oh, so, I'm also in your free school now.
I don't have that luxury though, because I need to do. So I need to keep my scroll wheels for duping rather than shooting. In some parts though, I can rebind. So there, we rescued Roland, and he's gonna put us on the path to taking out Handsome Jack. Go ahead. So here I'm gonna talk to Roland, and I'm gonna grab some quests from Will. So here, this is about the last time you're gonna see us in this little area here. This game is split up into like 3 hub areas, sort of. There's the hub area of Sanctuary, and then there's the sub hubs. And this was the first one. You usually go to 3 places, and then that hub is done with. So here we are, Frostburn Canyon, and we're gonna meet 2 characters. First is an old Vault Hunter, and the second is a new character that you either hated or loved when you played this game. And here, I need to set these rockets on fire, and by gathering them all around there, I get to set them on fire with the very specifically leveled fire plants. They have levels. Plants.
For some reason, they're leveled like enemies. It's another interesting Borderlands quirk.
There's Mordecai. There's his action skill.
So loud. So angry.
Every character in this game uses their action skill, except Brick,
So
sort of.
dead.
Brick is always using his action skill. But we'll get to Brick later. So here's the second character that you either liked or hated. And I didn't get the skip. So you can talk to Tina here before her cutscene starts. And then you can sort of leave as soon as you get here. But there's a slight backup.
Roland told me you were coming.
Oh, didn't get. Oh well. I can just cut her off with a quest.
Tricky stuff.
So I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna kill this poor guy that just saw a really fast dude run up to him and kill him. He literally didn't know what hit him. And I'm gonna use his quest to cut off that dialogue and give Tokeegee to do something when he's done with what he's doing. If you want to explain that.
Bring him back here and I'll use him to make some fine-ass damsels who can hijack that train. Just a second. This gonna be good. I'm a little teapot, bloody and cut. Here's my
We're gonna save Pandora. But
whoops. Put a little bomb in the hot-ass damsel.
so while I'm waiting for this, I'm just Chris stacking, and Tokeegee is going to do a quest to get us a gun that's really good. Hopefully, RNG has to cooperate.
That's right. Twin sisters, brother. Take them. So I just put my damsel with sucker. Got a very important tea party coming up, and my date is missing.
So you may notice my crosshair is getting really huge. It's not a big deal. It's gonna get smaller soon enough. But you may have noticed I just almost slingshot off of that ladder. This accident is so fast, the ladders don't like him. Only stuff that is the top me. Top me a lot off. They are. That's unfortunate. Oh great. I haven't.
That's one way to hijack a train.
But oh well.
The vault is still up on that ice shelf. Gotta climb that wreckage to get there.
Alright, there we go. Now my crosshairs shrink it down.
What? That's a rap song I wrote.
Usually I'd go there immediately, but I just wanted to get another dupe under my belt. Just for safety. So here, this is Wilhelm. Everybody's been hyping up Wilhelm for the entire run.
The train cars. They're probably keeping the
And Wilhelm's gonna disappoint. Just like every other boss.
Don't worry.
Because they, even just in casual play though, Wilhelm disappoints.
Oh dear.
I'll patch you up whenever you need it.
It's a
Here he
trap.
is.
The vault key's not on the train. Abort the mission, soldier. I'm sorry, but you can't
He
handle
like knocked me
Wilhelm.
away. Usually, can he like not knock me away? There we go. That's what I wanted.
Killed Wilhelm. Holy hell. Jack doesn't stand a chance.
Wilhelm dropped a power core. Be sure to grab it. My sensors tell me it's one of a kind. If you bring it...
Whoa.
So right here we travel to Three Horns Divide instead of the actual place we're supposed to be.
Comes just faster. The game, the Borderlands 1's run isn't this broken and all. Well, there's one bug. It also uses pretty strong mice, but in the most part, there's nothing like this infinite ammo or anything. No super speed.
The first game didn't get broken until like a month or two ago, or maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Something like that.
It's fairly recent that that game got broken as this.
Yeah, before there is duping in that game, but like it doesn't give you crit damage or anything. It just gives you another gun. But the most recent thing to like destroy the game is if you free scroll while looking down with a Mordecai's action skill, you can create infinite birds.
Yeah, so you can have hundreds of that
Get sanctuary in the air. Roland, get me
constantly
some
attacking
iridium.
things. It gets ridiculous. It's actually
You can't do that without killing
Borderlands 2 is a lot
everyone
more
in the city.
fun.
It ain't ready to fly.
It's still funny. It exists. Now, the pre-sequel is exactly as broken as this one, just no super speed. But they're still per second. I mean, There's still a crit stacking and everything. TBS gets the same engine. All that. Overall, pretty great run. Just kind of grueling because of all the dialogue.
I'm such a rock star.
Here we go.
That's just a little.
I've never used
code
this.
editor.
Might want to
Not
hang on.
cooperate. So here, we're gonna travel out of here because usually there'd be this whole cutscene they have to watch of them being like Jack's like, oh, so you've got a flying city, huh? Is that all you've got? Oh, what do you think you have that could beat me? And then they're like, a siren. And then Lilith says something that's edgy and stupid, and then you just have to wait to be able to travel out.
It's really cool the first time you watch it, and then it gets boring every time you play this game. Even that.
Now, saves a lot of time. The first iteration of that was found by T-Rex, a guy who doesn't run the game anymore.
Let me help you with it.
But he found it literally just by running at the bridge during the thing because he was bored. And it just sort of happened, and he was like, "Oh, that's a thing."
So here I'm about to do a bug where I'm going to summon my robot as we travel, and he's going to use a skill called like put his laser beam on me, and that increases my shield or not my capacity, but it increases my shield regen until he stops doing it. But if we travel while he's doing that, I just get to keep the buff.
Jack
So
modified the
my
power
shield
core
is
he found to
recharging
have a
very fast.
Hyperion network up.
And that could stack,
5
so
years
he will just
ago,
have an
I
infinite
tricked
shield.
Roland and his
I
friends
got an
into
amp
opening
shield.
the vault.
This is a shield that
I told them it
gives
was to
you
protect
increased damage
Pandora from a great
every
evil.
time you shoot it with a full
That was a
capacity.
lie.
So we're going
Jack
to
knew
use
he
that
could make a fortune off the
to
iridium held
constantly
within
refill
the
my
vault.
capacity and get
Without
increased
you,
damage from this amp shield.
Pandora has no
Because
hope.
whenever you shoot the amp shield, it also
You have no
drains from
reason
your
to trust
capacity.
me, I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to stop Jack from controlling the
I'm
warrior,
gonna
So
do
that-
a lot of damage.
you'll need
Yeah, that's gonna up his damage entirely. Now you're wondering, why don't I do that? Well, one, I don't really need to, and two, it's better for me just to grab a type of shield called a turtle shield, which has just really big capacity.
And I'm awesome. Hey, killer.
Go ahead and...
Phase the city.
What was that, Coach
No
Gun?
big
12?
deal. Find a way back here as quick as you can.
13.
Now the
Okay.
sanctuary's
Then never mind.
reappeared.
I was gonna have you give it to me in
Fast
a...
travel station to get back to the
Oh,
I'll mark the nearest one on your Echo device.
Error.
give it to me in a...
Sanctuary.
in the
Not
book,
found.
and I'll do it for you in
No.
what is it? Wildlife.
Okay.
So, oh right,
You're a little out of ourselves there.
just a little bit. So here, Tookie's just sort of gonna
Do you see those
kill this
supply shots?
kill this thing we have to kill.
Use that to get sanctuary back on the fast travel network. Simple. Except not at all. Did that? Unless you just... You got the beacon? Good. We
I got
can use
hit
that to
by one of
request
these, by the
an
way.
uncalibrated fast travel unit from the moon base.
They can't kill you, but they can hit you. All right, so here, anybody who's played Borderlands 2 before is aware of the Overlook section where you have to fight through a gauntlet of bots just sort of coming at you. But we skipped that because it's inconsistent and we don't like it.
And it's a lot faster.
And it's a lot faster. But it's really boring. Like, really boring. So if you all want to, like, ask questions, literally anything, ask us anything. Give us something to talk about. Because, alright, here I'm going to take off my shield. And he's going to give me the buck up glitch. Because even if I don't have amp damage, it's good to have a shield that never goes down, because then I can't die. Go. So there are the... the beacon repaired, and we leave, which destroys the beacon again. Oh, can you drop that coach gun for me real quick?
Yes, I can.
Why,
Wasn't so
hello
challenging.
there.
So the way that this mission works is, essentially, the beacon can go down approximately seven times before the game just puts it into an invincible state. Go. And if it somehow breaks in that invincible state, the game will just give you the win. It'll just be like, you're so bad. Just have it.
Yeah, there are lines in this game. Handsome Jack will literally be like, wow, you are so bad at keeping that beacon alive.
He just makes fun of you.
It's hilarious.
Go. Will you have buck up for this one?
Yes.
Alright, fantastic. So I'm gonna get about 2 or 3 buck ups here. That's enough to keep me alive for the things I need to do. So Deathtrap doesn't quite need to be shooting the beam, but he needs to be at least in the animation.
As long as Hedge sees it happen and hears the sounds, it should be fine. Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes. Oh, money. There's not much else to say about the overlook skip. It's just this.
Yeah, it's literally the most boring part of the speedrun.
Go. In solo, you have to do this by save quitting. And it's even slower. But it's still faster than doing the fight itself. That's how long the fight takes. There's literally a point in the fight where you have to wait for the enemies to... You just let enemies exist so that you don't break the fight. Go.
Not even many people understand how the fight works either.
Not even the developers do.
Yeah, and some of the better runners in the community don't even understand it. It's very interesting.
It's odd. Like at GDQ once, they were in a call and they're like, "So what? How does this work?" Go. They're like, I think we made it time based, but I also think we made it enemy based. I don't really remember. Although, in defense, that was Anthony Birch, the writer of Borderlands 2.
And they also did an animator, so no actual
coders.
Yeah.
The fast travel has landed. Give me a second while I
He's gonna do something
calibrate
here called
Sanctuary's new
dumpster
position.
shotgun.
So we're gonna go to
Fast
this
travel
dumpster
station
over here, and we're
calibrated.
gonna hope that the
Location,
shotgun, even though we have
Sanctuary,
one,
is
it's always
now
nice to have
available
something
for
like
travel.
that dumpster shotgun.
Go, quickly! Use the
Dumpsters
fast
are
travel
not common
station and get
sometimes
back to
because that's just how
Sanctuary.
common they are in Pandora.
Angel.
Literally, this whole universe is based guns are as casual as having a home computer. There are manufacturers dedicated to it. Grab the quest from here.
Here you go.
Right. Sorry. We'd all be dead if it weren't for you. But we need a plan.
I'm gonna
Jack's
check this
getting
vendor
closer
real
and
quick to see if
closer
there's a
to
shield in
digging
here.
up the warrior,
I can
and we
use.
still don't know where he's got the vault key stashed.
Just a
I
higher
can help
capacity
you with
shield.
that.
You? Damn
I'll
it, we
take
told
you.
you never to contact
I'm
us again.
Will
I'll
you
take
please
you.
just hear me out? Sure,
It was
let's
an
listen
amp
to the
shield.
crazy computer that
602
just tried to
capacity.
kill us. Hey, remember that?
Now you'll get amp damage.
So I hear Tokeegee's just gonna merge all his now 3 sniper rifles in for any more damage, and I'm just gonna run. Now this is the next map that has a lot of out of bounds in it, and a lot of death warping too. So here I'm just gonna run, and I'm gonna break some dialogue.
Now he's out of date though. He'll need
Roland
a
needs us
software
to go to Mordecai to get an upgrade for Claptrap to get us through a door that we need to get to
He
Jack.
needs your help with something. Roland echoed ahead. Hey, I heard about
So
Sanctuary.
usually when you'd run up to him because you'd be normal speed, he'd greet you and then you talk to him and you start telling the plan. But if you're fast like me, spam E on him, he'll start to tell you the plan and then you'll run up to him and make him talk over himself.
Way stronger than you. You'll get more experience from defeating them
just some
but there'll be
claptrap
much,
tutorial
much harder to
dialogue.
kill.
That's
Okay, I got an
fucking
idea.
right over.
If you cripple some of those
Oh, it didn't
guys,
work.
don't kill them. I have to open the door to send reinforcements.
Here we gotta hurt these
Oh, you got one. Now
floaters
move on to another loader.
to get them to open the door. And since I do so much crit damage, I have to hit them in the legs. Here we go. And I'm sure I'm gonna run, and Tokeegee's gonna get ready to quest Island again.
Door's open now. Get inside and find blood. Welcome to the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve. Jack says he built it. Oh, hey, you're in the preserve. A few years back, I won 2
There you go.
prizes in my
I'm gonna hit this button, hit this checkpoint, and he can die and join me.
I lost the second prize to Jack, and the first was Leave Me Carson. I don't care if I never see those guns again. But if you want them, just find Carson in the dust.
I got a new shield for later. It's an 800 capacity melee shield. Whoa, I've never done that before. That was cool. I went to my menu. What is it? I'm gonna have your new shotgun waiting for you at the top of the waterfall. He's gonna have to fix his infinite ammo real quick because he has a skill that needs to have a specific amount of stacks of infinite ammo, so he can get some health regen from all of his other skills. Not really required health regen, it's just kind of convenient.
We lost a character named Timon and Kimba. It's really not a reference to Disney at all. You know, still. And they're very annoying.
Does lots of damage. And this is a super fast loader, super high health, and I decimated him.
Not bad.
Bloodwing should be in one of these cells.
So while I do this, if you want to fix your ammo, you can.
Is she okay? Looking for Bloodwing?
So yeah, if I don't have my ammo set perfectly,
Somewhere.
how many shots I'm shooting,
Bloodwing ain't there? Damn it! Jack's playing games with
my
us.
skill here called, what is it called? Cooking up
trouble.
Commotion in the
Will
observation.
not get health regen.
Just keep pushing through the preserve, amigo.
The skill basically gives you health regen when you have a full mag, but if you shoot the mag with overstacks, it won't recognize you as having a full mag. Are you good for me to start cutscene? Working?
Not very good. I'm ready now.
Okay, I was just wondering if you're...
Want Bloodwing back, huh?
Shame.
I've been doing some really interesting iridium
I mean, all
experiments
stalkers
with her.
exist
Hate
just to
see
annoy
her
you.
go. But heck with you. This is all yours.
Psycho! So this is Bloodwing, the bird we saw earlier, but now he's bigger.
Oh my god.
In all honesty, I'd prefer to fight an army of him rather than just one of him.
Got all the
But at the same time, I'm kind of terrified of that idea.
I had. God damn it! Just weaken her and I'll hit her with a drink.
I'm sorry, soldier, but you gotta beat Bloodwing down. Do what you can to save her, but if you can't, she's got what we need to get into control
few more
Core
dupes.
Angel and grab the vault key. That's what matters here.
Oh, now my action seems way better.
So here I'm going to do a slightly different version of the skip boots you just did. I'm going to go to the other side because I am not fast enough.
This is gonna be fine.
Jumpy enough to get
So yeah, you saw I just decimated her health bar. She has three phases though, so I get lots of opportunities to shoot her in the face. Part is actually kind of sad, your first playthrough if you played Borderlands 1. But, we've seen it enough.
This won't hurt, I promise.
I've heard a lot of people saying that,
She's still alive.
Bloodwing dies.
Get the microchip from her collar, and we
I
can
don't
get
know
her
why
back
they
to
say that.
Sanctuary.
Because we get the microchip, let's go right back to Sanctuary. I've never seen her die before.
Bloodwing's fine.
Yeah, like,
God.
yeah, I don't understand why people keep saying
I
she
don't
dies.
understand what people are talking about, man. Stupid.
Buddy,
use load there to shut up
Note to
Claptrap.
Bowser. You're going to deliver that
And
note
I'm gonna
to
grab
a
these
bandit
side quests
leader
for
known
later.
as the Slab King. Now, he used
You
to
can
be
go.
a part of the Crimson Raiders until his methods got too brutal. I didn't think ripping Hyperion officials' limb.
So the Highlands is basically the second sort of hub area. I don't know if they planned this or if it was on accident, but they made the hub areas sort of correspond to the rarities of guns.
Careful though. Kind of
Like the first place you go to is all white. The second one is it's all green. You kind of skip over blue a little bit, but the next place you go to is purple.
Control Core Angel is a intruder. We got an intruder.
Kind of weird.
Intruder,
So here Tokeegee is going to do a specific way of killing himself because on this map, if you kill yourself without doing something specific, the game will take away all of his anarchy. And we didn't really explain that earlier, but his skill Anarchy, every time he kills an enemy, he gets a stack of it. It gives him increased damage and increased loss of accuracy. So he has close enough. So
So you'll see, I killed myself with a grenade before I fell. So I killed
You idiots always want to fight for the ball.
Hyperion recommends swearing badges till the thing that kills.
I don't have very much energy at the moment. But it's nice to have
like 1.75% for anarchy stat. I killed that guy, but I still went down. Oh, that's a warrior gun. That's a level 18 scatter gun. Blue. 128 times 8 damage. Wait. Oh, times 7. It's got a magic rocket to it. Fighting these waves of enemies. It's been a general theme from fight waves of enemies.
I only got one thing to say to you. Take that! That was awesome!
This is Brick. He punches things. What Brick does.
So what you want?
Here, we give him the note that has a very, very clear-cut message. But first, the Marshal needs to tell us about something. This quest, weirdly, has the second highest priority in the entire game. Don't know why, can't tell you why. It just skips everything. We need to help Marshal Friedman. Got a problem. Usually there's like 3. If we don't destroy the beacons, there will be no one left to help you with the bunker. So we had our Face McShooty incentive get met. So we're gonna ignore Brick for a bit. We're gonna come down to this wonderful man right here named Face McShooty. He has a very simple request. He wants us to shoot him in the face, I think. But just to make sure, I think we should shoot him everywhere else. Here, let me try the knee. No. Okay. No.
Shoot me in the face! It's my face! The thing's snarling at you!
I'm trying, buddy. I'm shooting you everywhere. I don't.
In the face!
Here, you try. You even try.
Do you not know what a face is?
He's just making fun of me. I don't know.
Shoot
what to
me
do.
in the face! In the face!
You know, I don't like this guy. Let's shoot him in the face.
Thank you!
Seems to work.
So that was the Face McShooty quest. Very, very fast, very simple, very funny.
They're guiding the mortars!
Giving us very clear instructions. We very much like this show with Brick.
Yeah, the target circle, Slab. In all honesty, Gearbox, they could make a TV show out of Brick. They could make like a fake children's show out of Brick. where it's just like stylized really cartoonily, and he's just like talking really positive, bricking his slabs or whatever, but it's really morbid. Oh, that would be the perfect TV show in my mind. So here we're just sort of trying to find the beacons and mold them up and proceed through all these robots that we kill like instantly.
Watch out for the mortars, Slum!
That's a buzzer? That's no longer a buzzer.
The thing about this game, if you run this game on like lowest settings completely and you have bullet decals on low, you actually can't see these
Icons? They're just yeah, the like little signals, just like
icons. They don't show up. So you.
Oh, I died.
You need bullet details. And that's about it. You just need it on normal.
You can like turn them off until this part, then turn them back on, then turn them off again, but obviously it's easier to keep them off for keep them on for the whole thing.
I see another beacon! Let's rip it up!
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll be fine.
I'm going for the shield!
So usually when you go down, the game like slows you down extremely, but actually it's still fast when you're down. So Tokeegee's gonna get another buck up. To make sure that he can't really die as easily. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the last part of this like little trilogy of missions to prepare ourselves for going to fight Jack. Go ahead.
To be honest, I got no idea how to get past.
Well, here we're going to Opportunity, the city that Jack is building for people to move into when they come to Pandora, because they are definitely coming to Pandora. But we need to go. We gotta go kill Jack. We gotta go his body double specifically. And his what is it? His body double is he's usually hard to fight,
To breach the final door
but if you have lots of crit damage, he's much easier to fight. Tokeegee's just gonna run over to this place over there, and he's just gonna spam some stuff for some dialogue skipping.
This used to be a little different for me. I used to be a lot more interested here, but now I just press the
That's when grab the pocket watch device you dropped.
Did you know that some people on this
Start spamming yours.
This is going to work. If I get a few more samples of Jack's lips, I can make a voice modulator. To get more voice in.
You know you're staring at the future side of the opportunity.
Did you know?
By 80,000%. I'll pump pay, kids.
And now he's just gonna run for the exit, and then once Angel says a specific line, he's gonna go ahead and what is it, travel out.
We should all love our parents, but love me more.
Every good war is won in the
Oh, that wasn't the line, but oh well. Maybe it'll skip.
Statues of himself around Opportunity, we can't truly win this war.
Go.
All done. Now grab the voice modulator.
Go again.
Great. Now, unfortunately, you will speak in Jack's voice until you reach
So that's about it. Now we're gonna go fight Jack and everything, but first we're gonna head to over. Oh, that's not my grenade button. We're gonna head to Overlook. Go ahead, because usually there'd be a lot of dialogue here before we could continue with the quest. But we just believe. We don't listen to them.
Who needs instructions when you have super speed?
Nothing. Go. There's a long rider in there. So now we're gonna be going somewhere else. I'm gonna go talk to Claptrap real quick. He's gonna open the door, and we're gonna move on the quest. Go.
FYI, take some serious convincing, or not.
I enlisted.
If you slap
So now I'm gonna go ahead with this quest, and Tokeegee's gonna wait to kill himself. That's just faster.
This also used to be a lot more interesting for me, and it's more boring.
I'm gonna tag every inch of this mountain if it's the last.
Can't help what's faster.
Let's go. We're gonna make Jack regret ever setting up shop on this cliff. It'll take him minutes to wash this graffiti off. Minutes, I say.
That was weird. He wasn't walking. He's going now.
Hey, you coming or not?
There it is.
That one's actually never happened before.
I didn't even know that could happen.
I didn't either.
Okay, now he's opening the door. Fun fact, if I run through this before the gate goes down, then what is it? I can actually soft lock the game because I'll fling myself up here.
Be careful, Slim. Watch out for the. I'm making my way up the cliffside, soldier.
You can die.
Keep pushing your way up, and I'll meet you at the chamber.
And him dying essentially just goes and spawns these turrets faster. They're dying very fast now because of our gun.
Yeah, so a lot of times we don't have a new shotgun here.
And I have to actually take a little bit of time. But these guys, well, that doesn't do much. Oh well. I can waddle my way through. You guys just see this little monster waddling on one knee at them, holding his chest. Well, this is a badass constructor. Usually they're really hard to fight, but if you're asking, you win. The action's from Doll, a much cooler organization. And that was that part. Usually that's like a long gauntlet, and it's like way cooler, but we skip it. So here we're at the bunker finally.
That force field protects the final door to my chamber.
Alright, fun time's over, kiddies.
So first we have to take out these autocannons, so Brick can help us out. But there's more than one.
Oh crap! Keep fighting, Slab.
There's about 11. So we're gonna have to take out 11 of them. I'm sure we're gonna be running around, and Tokeegee's gonna be staying in that like little middle area.
Working my way up there.
Sometimes it works out really well depending on the RNG of how the cannons spawn, but it doesn't always work out that well. So there's not much else to talk about with this part of the run. We're just sort of killing things. Usually we'd be having a conversation or something at this point. Something done. I don't even talk about V-Run. Sort of forget. So here I'm gonna
You really think I'd protect Angel with nothing but a couple of bots and some flimsy turrets? You see,
and it's real nice to get all of my crit shots out fast.
The bunker isn't a place. That's the bunker. Meet the BNK-3R, the greatest defense bot ever built. Designed her myself. Now
so
do me a
Bunker
favor and
Bunker
die.
can either be a brave boy or he can be a baby. Oh, I need that. I pulled the patented shockwave dropping the gun. Oh, over here? There he is. Oh, this is... Yeah, that was just a really bad cycle. I mean, this run would be so much more broken if they were. Is he coming in? Nope. No, he's just sort of being bunker.
It's interesting.
I'm not sure why he's doing this. If this were to happen in a run, like, we would have reset by now.
Yeah.
Like, this is just, like, atrocious. Okay, over here. So for off-host, this part can get extremely loud for seemingly no reason. But he's at 1 health hit, so we're just sort of gonna drop down. I'm gonna rebind my shoe key. I'm done having fun. Here, I'm gonna wait for a dialogue skip.
Utsu's up at the top of this elevator, but I don't care about elevators. I prefer just going around elevators.
That voice modulator
That's more
had better.
fun.
The engineers working in the Hyperion Preserve.
So I am now at the bottom of the area.
You're gonna fix
Utsu
that.
would
I
normally
was
need to
doing
be at.
recon.
Consider this your final warning. No,
So what I'm
consider
going
this
to do
my
here is
final warning.
travel
Turn around and I promise I'll make it quick.
and
But I swear,
hit this
take
waypoint.
one more.
And now we've skipped a ton of dialogue and going down an elevator, a slow elevator.
So here we're gonna skip a cutscene with just leaving the area.
Executing phase shift.
Usually, Angel would reveal to us that she is a siren, not actually an artificial intelligence. She is a living person being kept in her father's basement. His very high-tech basement. Now we're gonna shut them up with a character named Hannes. She's gonna tell us about her hidden journals. And that's gonna skip a lot of dialogue. Usually they'd be like, shoot the injectors, and then he'd be like, no, I've got shields. And then, it'd just take forever, but Hannes talking about her hidden journals makes the fight just start. So, when you're off host, nothing really works for you, so you saw like me shooting that, you didn't really see the health bar go down. But on Tokeegee's side, the health bar does go down very smoothly.
I think that's one of the few things that you get that. Just go down.
Yeah, I think it got a little bit better. Accent super speed is still very possible, unless you're on Handsome Collection. Handsome Collection, they patched that out because they just improved the net. You can kill this guy, I'm gonna get right on the next quest.
I'm gonna stay here in Sanctuary for the long haul, but my slabs still need some stuff done back in the hut.
Right, I'm on it.
So there, Roland comes in, they have a little bit of chat, but I shut them up with dialogue. So we're about to be able to shoot down this shield, and I'm gonna dupe some more. First, we have to kill these guys. Badass loader, more like about 10 levels over me, and I just decimated him.
That's one of three.
And we're gonna kill more dudes. Now Roland's here to help us fight. He's deployed the turret. I'll deploy one too. Ronald here. It's gonna take a while to run up here, so take advantage of it and just sort of do my guns.
You can watch Spider-Man fall up there.
That is Ronald, the Vault Hunter.
You're endangering my baby girl. This is my vow. Every friend, every child, every person you've ever passed on the street.
So Tokeegee's just sort of gonna get prepared because he kills them way faster than me, and I'm gonna kill all the robots. They have trick spots. Iron Lord, Tokeegee hates them.
I do not like iron lords. They're not fun to fight against. They're not interesting. They shock you. This is more damage to your shield. All around,
Got a job for you. Why don't you stop by my place out in the dust?
So there, what would happen is Lilith would show up and they'd have like a talk, be like, "Well, I told you not to come," and everything like that. But luckily, Ellie talking makes them not talk.
We gotta move!
I've got you.
So here I've swapped to this gun, but
This isn't over. Stay on your toes.
Tokeegee's just sort of gonna hang on to his because he does more damage actually if he just sort of has more pellets, because he. Especially since amp damage is per pellet, not spread across the entire thing. So he's actually doing like, how much amp damage did you say your thing was?
It was 114, so we add that to the 67 we're doing now.
Times 13. So he has a 114 damage, well, 160 something damage coach gun. And it's fairly decent.
I got the shield down.
So we're done with this fight.
And usually there'd be a cutscene that we'd have to sit through and then wait for it to end before we can actually like leave the area. But luckily we have a way of ignoring cutscenes. Again.
You can stop this. I'll still forgive you, baby.
All we gotta do is leave. Just have to wait for a very specific moment.
What kind of person would do this to their own daughter?
The kind of guy who deserves to die.
So watching that cutscene, it's so long. It's like, I think a minute or a minute and a half.
It's like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, it's a long cutscene. And it's not fun to watch, so we skip it.
Literally watching that cutscene nowadays is a reset. It's that bad. So there, I just sort of kill myself and get all the way back up here. Tokeegee's gonna get ready for another buck up, just probably his last one. I'm gonna go to Sanctuary. Oh, fine. So here, I'm just sort of gonna talk to a dude, and we're gonna go all the way back to the dust. So,
What the? How the hell did you get back there?
go ahead.
Oh,
We're gonna come up here to Mordecai, who wanted us to talk to him in Sanctuary. We're gonna come back here to the dust. So we have to go to the Iridium Blight.
This map is actually really interesting compared to a lot of other ones in the game, because with almost every main mission, it'll scale with the main game, so you can do some XP farming or whatever you want to do. It's always nice.
And I've been thinking the world might be a teensy-weensy bit better if all of them were dead.
Also the purple area. And then, strangely, the last area you go into is orange. It's not a hub area, but it's the last area. So we're here, Tokeegee's just sort of gonna drive to one place, and I'm going to run to another place.
This place was, well, still a crap hole.
What is it? So I have to go over here and I need to trigger a dialogue and then skip it immediately so that he can go as soon as he gets here.
Intruders detected.
The folks in Sanctuary don't know about rolling. Almost none of them will still be alive.
Blow stuff up, that's my plan. Phone hunter.
Typically, I'd be around if I didn't crash into a floor.
Car driving is hard. But so what's going on here is we have to go find where the warrior is, the thing that's in the vault. It's really hard to follow the story if you're just watching a speedrun. Mostly because we skip everything. Dialogue and cutscenes. You don't get any context. But essentially, we're here to get some explosives to get into the info stockade, which has the info for where the warrior is.
Looks like the elevator's not moving. You gotta piss Mortar off so he'll take the elevator down. A boom breaker! Mortar's prize puzzle! Go back!
So we're running through here. Tokeegee's just hanging out.
This takes me back.
Gonna be waiting for me to finish this.
I had Tiny Tina riding piggyback.
I want to be clear about something. This isn't about Pandora anymore.
There's nothing Mortar loves more than his buzzard boom bringer.
I'm blow up Boombringer here to let us use the elevator because the guy who was at the top of the elevator didn't want us coming in. We're gonna piss him off.
That slap just blew up my buzzard without even looking at the explosion. But I ain't scared. I'm coming down and you're gonna die.
Sounds like you can
I was looking for a quest there to skip the dialogue, but it's not a big deal. So that was that was Mortar. He's apparently hard to fight. Oh, there he goes. He just fell through the floor for me. Yeah, you actually don't have to fight him, but it's so much more rewarding to.
Steal the explosives, but the sky's gotta be clear first. Take out those.
I just felt like a nomad mixed with a Goliath. So we killed those guys because they were, we can't really explain this because we never came to a part where we needed to, but the game can only load so many enemies on a map at once. So if there's somebody in another part of the map with enemies, the game won't spawn more enemies. So we kill all those guys that spawn there to make these buzzards spawn faster.
They'll need those charges to blast open the path to the info stockade.
So here I'm just gonna run to the exit, and Tokeegee's gonna tell me when I'm good to go.
Slabs coming in.
So you get time with Rick starting to talk there.
That lets us leave as soon as possible.
So here I'm gonna get into a car and prepare for the next area.
Keep your head down, Slab. My boys are starting their run. That ought to do it. The way to the info stockade is open. Get in there and find out.
So Tokeegee's just sort of gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna turn this mission.
That building with the lights shooting out of it? That's the info stockade. We're gonna get you there through the main Iridium pipeline. Head there now.
So Tokeegee's just gonna get in position. I'm gonna get on the pipeline. I'm gonna run to the next area you need to go, etc., etc.
If I kill that car, it counts as me killing an enemy, so I get a small movement speed boost because of the skill I spec'd into earlier.
Now crank
It
those
just makes me move a little bit faster here.
Cool. Now, hit the other 2 pump stations and raise the pressure till that pipe's fit to burst. Then you can bust the pipe, get into the stockade, and find out where the warrior's buried. Sounds like a great.
So another thing that like him blowing that up for me does is it makes this spawn as a saw blade technical instead of a barrel technical, because saw blade technicals move slower than barrel technicals, and it lets me boost right into this hole here rather than having to like lower my boost or whatever. I slowed down there because that's a really hard jump to time, and if I don't jump at the right time, I will die. And that's that part. And here, Tokeegee is gonna do literally nothing.
I just sit here and wait.
So go ahead and just move your eyes to the right.
Mining information, security footage.
So this tier that I'm about to come across is Saturn. You may think to yourself, oh, he should be easy to kill. He's you've got so much crit damage. Saturn doesn't have any crit spots. And neat.
So we've tried finding. Many people have. He did none. There's none.
Lilith has quite the little mouth on her, doesn't she?
Go.
And as it turns out, without iridium is
So Saturn can be a pain in this run, especially if he kills you. He can kill you. He can knock you off the map. Saturn can just be a bad time all around. Well, luckily he wasn't a bad time. So here I'm gonna turn this quest, and Tokeegee's gonna use a quest that we used earlier at Brick to overwrite it. I'm gonna turn into Mordecai, and we're gonna accuse a dude. For some reason, that just whole quest is so much priority.
Why don't you try?
It's time to end this.
Anyways, we're moving on to the last part of the run. We just have this quick fight. So there's about like 10 minutes left of this run. Something like that. So we're coming up on the end. I'm just sort of gonna duping.
There's a mini boss called King Mong. I've never seen him get this far.
I don't have any snipers left apparently. That's odd. I usually have snipers there. Oh well. You have a lot of birds behind you. Oh. Terrifying. I'm just sort of run around just for fun. Because since I don't have sniper rifles, it's not very worth it to keep duping. So here, just like the beginning of the game, we're waiting on Claptrap. Kind of ironic what the developers have done here, making you rely on Claptrap again. So here our usual setup is just a usual setup. Like once the enemies get harder to fight, Tokeegee gets the outside dudes and I get the inside dudes, because it's not bad if I go down. I can just waddle to another enemy to get up off of. If he's down, it's kind of bad.
Yeah, you move really slow when you're down. You can't move at all in the defense when you're down.
Yeah, and they're like, you know, maybe we should give them like something. The turrets, let me see if I can blow them up. I can't even get up there, so mistakes were made.
It is semi-faster to kill those turrets, but it's very hard to kill.
Not even, apparently. Apparently not even faster.
It's not faster to kill those turrets.
I have learned.
actually did something!
It's a pretty fun part of the game.
Yeah, this is some of the best dialogue in the
additional
game.
troops.
Also, sometimes they can spawn under the map.
To realize that
So here, I'm gonna run away, because the fight's over. So I'm gonna go get some... Oh yeah, Claptrap cursing is really good. But yeah, so we're just gonna come over here to cut off Claptrap's final lines.
We did it, minion!
Okay, look, I need your help. I know what you're thinking.
Do not take the advice of this side quest here.
I built our cottage.
As much as he's paying you, do not take the quest.
Please, make sure everything's okay. I will pay
Or do.
you to kill yourself.
Minion,
That
gotta go on without me. Do your master proud.
skips dialogue. You can take the quest, but do the other version of the... Do the alternate ending where you call the Hyperion Suicide Hotline. So here, Tokeegee's done with the run. Could go make a sandwich.
This world is gonna end.
Go to the bathroom. Oh, he's going. And I just sort of run through here. That didn't work out well. So you can get through this map pretty easily and just ignore the actual like story.
yeah, it's not even getting out of bounds. It's just grenade jumping to the areas you need to be in. It's one of the few maps that doesn't have like a million checkpoints throughout the whole thing, and you can just leave at the end of it.
And that was Heroes Pass. And this is the final map of the game. So usually you'd have to do this thing where like you run through here and there's an elevator, you have to wait for your friends. I'm just gonna ramp over.
Pandora, with your greed and your hatred, it comes down to me.
And here I'm going to bind shoot scroll wheel one more time. Here's Jack, but Jack is going to die very fast here.
Hey, you're right on time.
Don't mind the turd in the background killing the rack. Having a good day.
This planet for good. I'm gonna avenge my daughter.
Save this world from your kind, but I'm more than happy to do it.
Just gotta find where he went. There he is. There he is. Usually that goes faster, but sometimes his hitbox just doesn't load.
No! The key's charged!
Here we're gonna see the big boss that we've been hearing about, the warrior. Spooky warrior.
Too late, bandit.
Really? It's more like a cat than anything.
Greatest alien power
He's a big
Pandora
lizard
has
cat.
ever seen. And it's my control.
And the warrior has two crit spots, his mouth and his chest. His chest you have to break open, but it's a lot easier to hit. But luckily, with lots of pellets, I can just sort of spew bullets in his face and it'll kill him. Like, oh, well, I dropped my gun. It's okay though, because I still got him to death health, even after dropping my gun. If you're wondering how I dropped my gun, because I have scroll wheel bound to mouse wheel up, and if I shake my mouse too much, it'll kill him. So I'm gonna clear out my inventory real quick here. And if I assassinate the assassins?
This is a recorded message to any Crimson Raiders.
Don't save quit at the end, by the way.
Targeted by 4 Hyperion spies masquerading as bandits. They're hiding out in Three Horns. Find them, kill them. See if you can figure out why they're here.
know if we reached the glitch exhibition incentive. That'd be time.
147.18, a little over.
Wait a sec. Let me.
I'll go over
I don't
there.
wanna touch this thing right now. Trust me.
We spent a few times like playing things. Some mistakes happen, but it's not too bad.
Lilith.
But yeah,
Where the hell
did
were
we
you guys 5 minutes ago?
does anybody know that?
If it weren't for the Vault Hunter, we'd all be dead.
It's like Psy in chat or something?
That's her way of saying we won.
I figured that.
I'll message
I
him
never
on
see this key again.
Discord real quick.
Too soon. It's been fun,
Doesn't
you
look like
alien
it.
piece of shit.
Okay.
Oh, did he say something?
Yep, Majora said, didn't hit it.
Didn't hit? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, that's Borderlands 2.
What the?
Yep. Is the who's the next runner? Is he ready?
You know what that means.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked.
All right. Well then, that was Borderlands 2. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the next run.
See you guys later. Thanks for watching.